Tune in now to your To That Show.
Maybe not singing.
JJ and Mika, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, scream monsters on your way.
That sounds terrible, dude. Shut that off. This is terrible. Like, the sound quality is so bad. It's scratchy. It sounds terrible.
It's not good?
No. No. Why did you change it? Jeez, a mercy.
Tinny.
He hates it.
Something when something is
tinny.
not broken.
Tinny. It doesn't sound tinny to me.
You
Unless
sound
my-
tinny.
Terrible.
Yeah, so my whole audio is messed up.
You
is what you're
sound
saying.
tinny. Yeah.
Well,
All
that's JJ's restream. I have over the years I have come to the conclusion. The only
gonna
logical conclusion is that it's JJ's connection, restream, and all that. And it's not so much as connection. When I say connection, I just mean he's in a house in a neighborhood.
Right.
You know, you don't have a.
Yeah.
I don't have sunglasses. They're in
So,
the car.
All
like
right, man.
something
How's
flew
this?
in
Is
my
it better?
eye last night. Something flew in my eye last night, and I couldn't even open it. It was crusted halfway across this morning, and it hurts so much.
Y'all look so much cooler than me today. I don't
Do
feel.
you,
very cool
can you
at
hear me
all.
now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay. Is
does
it
that
still
remove
tinny?
the coolness? No, it's not
you,
tinny.
You
Yeah.
went with a hat? I don't even have a hat. I don't have a hat.
Whatever you did, JJ fixed the restream problem.
Yeah, I restarted my Wavelink app, which is the mixing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm JJ. This
Morning.
is a total fucking
What a
just
great
shit show.
ending to a crap
this.
week on the show. If you're still watching the show today, I love you and hope you.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my language. It's been a rough week and I've already had a rough morning. I've already plunged the toilet and repaired a vacuum cleaner,
That
taking out
sucks.
all kinds of stuff. It's like, it's just been chores.
guess
And
it
I'm like, and then my wife calls me like 5 minutes before the show. And I love you, dear, if you're watching. I know she's not watching. And I'm like, man, I have no prep done. And she's like, let's talk about taking the kids on daddy-daughter dates. And I'm like, can we talk about that? Not right now.
You know, from my point of view, I greatly enjoy talking with you on our little phone call that we do every morning. But that stuff takes number one priority over this all the time. Even if your wife or your kids are just like, you know, your wife's like, I would just like to talk between 8 and 9 today about nothing, about TV shows.
Yeah.
That to me takes priority over this stupid show.
Yeah, a bunch of people
I love you and I really
it
enjoy
does.
talking about this, but you know.
Yeah, it does. Except that like I've already been doing a bunch of other chores and
Dude,
my head's not right.
Let me tell you the best. I get up and try to leave the house by 5 a.m. I try to be out the door. Most times it doesn't happen that way, but I try to be out the door by 5 a.m., 5:15 at the latest. Ashley knows this. So on those days that I'm like, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to get to work early. And then I'll get halfway to freaking work and I'll get scheduled message. Don't forget to take the trash out. You know, don't forget this.
Hey. All right, guys, let's jump into this because for some reason, a bunch of people are here. And I think it's because of this wild card that I have. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, this one right here. The White House Misses OJ Simpson. So there's a bunch of people here. So let's not disappoint them before. I mean, look, you guys are going to be disappointed
early. The longer you stay,
I know.
the more
You need to be disappointed on schedule, not immediately.
Right.
All right. Check this out, Deke and Dave. That's Deacon. I'm JJ. Down there's Dave. Here.
Was there any reaction from the president to OJ Simpson's death? Do you know if they ever crossed paths? If so, how, when?
So I'll say this: our thoughts are with his families during this difficult time. Obviously, with his family and loved ones. And I'll say this: I know that they have asked for some privacy, and so we're going to respect that. I'll just leave it there.
Man.
Which is a canned. That's canned. That's a canned generic. Like, okay, I need a generic response. Let me pull this one off the shelf and give it to you. That's all that is. That's a generic.
There was a podcast that I listened to that they said, you know, OJ can't be tried again for Nicole's murder.
He sure cannot.
Double
jeopardy.
But he can be tried as an accomplice if they could figure out who the other person was and they suspected it being his son. And so they would try his son as the murderer.
So
and
my
OJ is the accomplice.
so my son, my 15-year-old son, said something about OJ last night, and I was like, "Yeah, do you know anything about that?" And he's like, "I don't know anything. I just, he did not even know who OJ Simpson was.
Right,
This
of course not.
generation." So I had to explain it to him, and I went through it, and I had to actually look up something real quick because I had forgotten about it. So for those of you that have forgot, let's give you a little recap here real quick because we all lived through this. Because I
Mhm.
told Alex, I said,
Mm.
dude, I remember I was in the car with my friend and we were on the way to the mall when they
Was
announced
it a Bronco?
the freaking verdict. No, it was a little
Okay, just making sure.
something sunbird. It was a sunbird.
Okay.
So anyway, OJ Simpson, I told him, I said, was a huge football star, great football star, Heisman Award winning football star, went on to play in the NFL for many, many years, became a legend in the NFL. After he got out of the NFL, he was an actor, for a little while, was sports commentator or whatnot. I said, and then he killed his wife and this guy named Ron. And then he got off on it, and it was a big joke. I said that was a meme before meme were meme. I said, the little. I
Yeah.
said him and his friend. I said I explained that to him. I said they weren't speeding down the highway; they were going about 55, and there were like 1,000 cop cars behind him. I said you've seen that and displayed and all kinds of stuff. That's a joke anymore. His buddy was in the truck calling saying, OJ's okay, and that's it. We're just going in and whatever he was saying at the time,
Right.
So that's what happened. And then they acquitted him. They said that he did not do this and whatnot,
Right.
which everybody
Well,
kind
the
of
glove didn't fit, so you had to acquit.
he has to quit. So I know that somebody played that this morning, and I was like, oh my God, I hadn't heard that in 20 years. or whatnot.
It was brilliant litigation.
Oh yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. Well, it was, and he had the best. That's why the freaking Kardashians have a TV show today. It's thanks to OJ Simpson trial. Is to be honest with you. So
Oh, really?
yeah. So that's what happened. He became a meme. Everybody just kind of forgot, and they would kind of joke around with him. OJ, you killed him. Comedians would do that, and nothing was ever said. So so during this time, what was going on, and what I also told Alex was in the early 90s in California, there was a lot of gang violence and a lot of black violence in those neighborhoods and stuff.
Right.
And there was a video that was leaked from the police there. I don't remember who it was, but it was the police, a bunch of white police officers beating the hell out of a black man named Rodney King. And that
Right.
video leaked of Rodney King. They were just beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Wasn't the video from a helicopter?
I don't remember what the
I'm pretty
video
sure-
is from. In
Ah,
my
But it
mind's eye, I
triggered
thought
it
was a
triggered
video from, like, straight
riots
on.
in
Yeah.
LA, and
Yeah.
I mean there was
Well,
like
what happened
massive.
was why the riot started was because those officers got off. A jury let them off. They said they didn't do
Yep.
anything wrong, and that
Yeah.
pissed off everyone, the black
Yeah.
community
Sure.
and everyone, not just the black community. So as that was going on, this was going on and whatnot. So remember all of this at that time while you watch this video. Okay, this video was not, I don't remember when it was filmed. I don't have that information here, but this video is of one of the jurors of the OJ Simpson trial, well after the trial, being interviewed here. And this was shared. Feel free to share your photos. I want to save that. Take this down so I can show you this video. I want to show you this one because it has trouble when I try to pop one up over yours.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so I want to show you this. This was shared on Twitter yesterday. I'm just going to show you this video. She is one of the jurors. This is 30 seconds long. She's one of the jurors of the OJ Simpson trial. Listen,
I am deeply interested to hear in the thoughts of a juror because it's super important for us to seek justice and be fair to people in our country. And so I've never heard her speak about the process. Go ahead.
I think I got somebody at the door. Here, I'm gonna play this.
Okay.
Do you think that they're members of the jury that voted to acquit OJ because of Rodney King?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
How many of you think felt that way?
Oh, probably 90% of us.
There she is in the middle. In the pink.
90%? Did you feel that way?
Yes.
That was payback.
Uh-huh.
You think that's right?
She said, "I don't care, Cracker." That's what she just said.
Well,
Exactly what she said. She just said, "We
I wish
found
we could have
that
seen
murderer
him ask.
innocent because y'all found those white cops innocent, and that was payback." That's
I wish
exactly
we
what she
seen him
just said.
ask the question.
Do what?
I wish we could have seen him ask the question.
What in the hell is going on with my phone?
Oh, you're having a morning like me. Hey, people
My
just
God.
texting you and calling
Ashley
you.
she's sending me picture after picture after picture.
Yeah,
They're
right.
all
Yeah.
memes. It's a meme dump.
Come on, Ashley. You know, she wouldn't do that if she watched the show and knew that we were doing business, serious work here right now.
Serious work. Shady
All
work.
right. Yeah, what were
But
you
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Dave?
I was saying I really wish I could have seen him ask the question, because we hear a question and we see her response, and I
Uh-oh.
don't like that.
Look at, I mean, that's
You're
true.
exactly
Like,
right.
don't
You're
like that.
exactly right. I don't like that
That could
either.
be Rupard.
I like
That's true.
I like to hear when someone says blah blah blah, and you're like, well,
Yeah, it could be
what's
taken
before
out of
and
context.
after the blah blah blah. I want to know
Right.
what's before and after.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I agree. That's
So,
fair.
You know
But
what?
plus, you also
I was
have
tricked. No, I was tricked by that little clip into thinking that she's an evil, racist person, and that's not fair. So
even then
I wish
wouldn't
that we
I
had seen
wouldn't
the
go
whole
that
video. I was
beyond
tricked.
that. She's an older lady, and I'm not making an older stereotype, but sometimes
Mhm.
memories change the older we get.
But
Right.
on the
Sometimes people
juxtaposition of that,
Yeah.
the older people, sometimes I've met a lot of older people. It's like, I don't give a damn. This is
Yeah.
what's happened. This is why I feel this way, and I don't give a crap how you feel. You know, I know a lot of
Yes.
older people that are like that. They're like, I don't give a damn what you think. You
Right.
know? And I'm like, slowly, not slowly, but like sprinting to that, crusty old man. Get off my lawn, you little bastard.
All right. Well, OJ Simpson's gone, but it remains up to the rest of us to find that actual murderer.
I
I hope
was
we can.
for our dad joke today, I was going to make an OJ Simpson joke, but I don't think it's appropriate. I'm going to make a stab at it Monday.
Oh yeah. You don't want to squeeze that too hard. This whole topic.
Oh,
Man,
And a lot of people are going to have cutting
cutting deep
remarks.
there. You all are cutting deep.
hello, is
don't-
this thing on?
Yeah, and you don't want to lose your head over this.
No,
Man,
no. The
Okay,
gloves are off.
wow.
The gloves are off.
Oh no! Oh, that's the wrong one. Now it won't listen to me.
Let's do it again.
Oh jeez!
Does it have like a little
I can't find
fader?
the button to stop it. I don't know. It won't.
Yeah, man. It's like it feels like it's like on a little bitty speaker that you're playing it from
I
in the
can't
room.
stop it. There it is. I found it. Yeah, God,
Okay.
it's ridiculous.
Kill that thing like OJ. I mean,
Oh, jeez.
bad.
Hey, Kato
Sorry.
Kalin says he still thinks he did it. Kato Kalin. You guys remember Kato Kalin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's how I think that's related to what Deke was talking about with the Kardashians, maybe. I don't know. Okay, you know what? That old lady, that old juror, she's not the only person out there that doesn't give a flying flip what you say about something. And she don't care what you say about OJ.
Well,
She let that dude off
If
the
anything,
hook. But
that should be a warning for us about how important it is to actually follow justice, the law. I mean, there are consequences.
yeah,
Whether you like it or not, there are consequences if laws are not kept by those who should be holding them up. Then the people are going to revolt. And I mean, yeah.
justice is imaginary. Justice is imaginary.
Nah, it's there. It's there.
I know you. I know you're conflicted because you also know that it's even the best of intentions
As a minister, I have to fully believe in God's justice, and I'm not going to say that's
Yeah.
imaginary.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
right,
talking
but
about anything that you see in this entire world. In this world, right here,
okay,
handed out by jurors
created by
or
God. Yeah,
judges, or yeah, but justice administered by humans is
I,
imaginary. It's fake.
I think it's flawed.
Yeah, that's what
I think justice on this side is flawed.
All
I
right,
still
so
have
here's
hope.
it. Well, listen, look, eventually things are going to work out. But
Yes,
if you
100%.
run around in the streets today, or protest, or march up and down, or are on a jury, and you're
Mhm.
saying, I'm fighting for justice, you're not going to.
Have you been on a jury before?
I was Yeah, you
you
dismissed
were
from
last
a
year.
jury.
You
Yeah,
were dismissed.
yeah. They were like, we don't want you here.
Yeah, I got to be on a grand jury once.
Yeah, it was a grand jury. They were like,
Mhm.
hey, this is cool. Grand jury, you get like subpoena powers. You get like super cool powers. And I was like, like, I don't want to miss work and stuff for 3 months, but like, this sounds kind of cool. I'd be happy to be on a grand jury. But my boss was like, I cannot afford for you to not be here. And then they had us fill out all these forms while we were there, because they were trying to, pick people. They were actually trying to fill a quota. You had to add so many Hispanic and all of this. And and they were like, just write on there, but give us any reasons why you think you wouldn't be appropriate. And I was like, I mean, I'm happy to do this, except that if it's a case involving a politician, I absolutely believe that all politicians are sociopaths. So they won't get a fair trial from me.
Sorry, I was on the phone. Are y'all talking about jury duty?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Injustice. Injustice.
Okay, let me just say this, and then I'll let y'all talk.
Yeah.
I have worked in radio. I'll be 47 in June. I have worked in radio since I was 18 years old. Every single time I have got jury duty, I go up there, and out of those 29 years in radio, I've done about 26 in morning radio, which
Right.
means reading and preparing the news
Yeah.
and staying on top of things. So every time I've gotten jury duty, which has been like 3 times, I have went up there and told them, I work in the media. I'm on the morning shows. I read the news. Part of my job is to stay updated on everything that's happening all the
Police
time.
blotter.
And I have gotten dismissed all 3 times. I've never served on jury duty. I've always wanted to serve on jury duty, but I've never served on jury duty because I know everything that's going on. I have people that'll text me, "Hey, what's going on the interstate?" "Oh, there was a wreck on," because I know. Well, I don't know.
I was asked, or I tried to get out of grand jury duty because y'all know I do chaplaincy stuff with law enforcement, right?
Yeah.
I know every single officer in my county,
Yeah,
pretty much by first name.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which department. And so grand jury, you're just trying to determine if this should go to trial or not, or go to court or not. And I'm like, yeah, I probably don't want me on. They're like, no, we do. And like, all right. So we were post COVID. I think we set the record in our county for the most number of grand jury indictments in one day.
Yeah.
But one of the indictments, I refused to say, oh yeah. Everybody else was on board except for me because of one thing the lawyer said, the attorney. He said something to the effect of, if this individual had been anyone else, it would be no brainer. Just throw it out the window. And that speaks to what you're saying about justice. It should not matter who you are. If a law is broken, that's the rules. If the law is not going to be kept by anybody except for this one person, then.
But that looks good on paper, and that's what we've all been taught to believe. The law is the same for everyone. That's not the reality of the world. That's not. That's a fantasy that they told you that you believe.
You saw the billionaire that got off the other day, 86-year-old billionaire hedge fund guy. They did not give him jail time at all.
Oh, really?
It was, I forget who it was. It was just like last week.
I wonder if he donates to any political parties.
I don't know.
Or
pull it up real quick.
Yeah. I don't know about which billionaire you're talking about. Okay, so let's talk about something else. Let's talk about somebody else who doesn't give a flying flip what you think. And it's not that juror lady. who her opinions between her and Jesus, and whatever. Check this out.
I found it. Go ahead.
J.K. Rowling says she will not forgive Harry Potter actors for disavowing her position on trans activism. You had what's his name, played Harry Potter, and
Daniel
the girl that
Radcliffe.
plays Hermione,
Emma
Hermione
Watson.
Granger or whatever.
Emma
All of these
Stone.
young
Emma
actors
Watson.
that are, they need their careers still. They
Dave, can
need
you see the
opportunities
story? I
to
can't
get.
see the story.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's up. That happens to be too.
That's all right.
It'll.
It's not a big deal.
So.
I know this story, and I've read this. I read the article yesterday and read on this because I've been kind of keeping up with this.
Yeah.
All this was when this trans stuff came out, and she said that Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson's PR team doubled down and tried to play a cover your ass game with them, and made them
the more I read from J.K. Rowling, I don't think she's anti-trans. I think she is just pro women's rights.
That is exactly right.
She is that way at all.
She is pro women.
She's pro women.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And now she's pushing back some to some of the trans activists.
Yeah, well, some of the trans activists is what you said, because some of the trans people are the ones that attacked her. It wasn't all the trans people. I don't think it was some of them that are obviously on the lower IQ spectrum and can't comprehend the freaking sentences that she's trying to say.
They know what she's saying, and they don't. That's not the point. The point for them is that if you do not agree with their cult ideology of trans women or women and all of this stuff, it's not okay for you to take a posture of like, hey, you guys do whatever you want to do for yourself, but stay out of the girls' bathrooms. If you don't wholeheartedly agree, then you're their enemy, and they will do anything they can to destroy you. This is not a tolerant group of people.
Yes, and I'm trying to be as tolerant as possible, but like you said, there needs to be an understanding. All right, there needs to be an understanding that. Well, not on our part. There needs to be an understanding on the trans people's parts that you understand that you want these rights to go into places and do this for women and whatnot. But you also need to understand that by doing this, you are infringing on everything that's happened with sports. You're also opening the door to predators that are going to prey on this, that we have seen a million times already. So there needs to be an understanding that it's not that we don't want you to have rights. It's the fact that we don't want your rights to completely infringe on all of our safety and rights and stuff that women have fought for 100 years in this country. You see, it's just
J.K. Rowling is like my position is mostly like, I don't want dudes in my kids' bathrooms because my kids are little girls. J.K. Rowling doesn't even retreat to the position of safety of children. She is out there advocating for the safety of women, actual women that are not as strong as men. And you can take a man and put him in a dress and put lipstick all over him and even pump him full of estrogen. He's still stronger than a woman, can overpower her quickly. And
there was a collegiate sport group, NIAA maybe.
Hey, what's going on here? That's cool. What's going on?
Well, I was trying to see it. Now it's up, and I can actually see it.
Okay.
Good. Because y'all are just little, and it's a whole blank page for me.
It's not the NCAA, but another group. That's kind of cool. Never mind. It's So they are banning trans. I forget. Individuals that were born male that have become female, they have banned them from female sports.
Too.
Yeah, what sport was that? Do you remember? I saw
it wasn't a sport. It was an athletic administration
that
thing.
sounds
I think it's
familiar to me,
NIAA or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I think that's
but
what
I thought, well, good for them. They'll let it go the other way. Women, if they want to compete as men, go for it. but men competing as women, no bueno. And I thought that was a good take, an interesting take.
Here it
And
is.
it's not
Here's
that the
your-
women want to compete as men. The women want to compete with men. There's a distinction there that's important.
National Association of Intercollegiate Athletes effectively bans transgender women from its women's sports programs. According to the organization's new policy, only NAIA students, student athletes whose biological sex is female, may participate in NAIA-sponsored female sports. They define biological sex as having distinguishing characteristics that can be supported by birth certificate or signed affidavit. So basically, actual females. I don't know why they just don't say females. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, here J.K. Rowling said
they don't say females because it's a part of the. This is the early part of the brainwashing, JJ. You need to pick up on it early. You know, if they start just slowly changing. Let me give you a good example of this. Great example of this happened at a radio station that I left because I didn't like what was going on. Classic rock. We were classic rock. Rock. The guy comes in and he's like, I want to start playing more pop hits. I can't play Kaja Goo Goo next to Led Zeppelin. That doesn't sound, that doesn't, we're a classic rock station. So we started saying classic rock hits. We did that for about 6 months, 4 to 6 months, classic rock hits. And then we took out the word rock and started saying classic hits. We had 3 people complain.
Yeah.
3.
Right. Well, I mean, part of this is that we have to stop being polite and not hurting people's feelings and call a spade and say, hey, you're not a girl. You're not a female. You're not a woman. But, you guys and, pretty much anybody that would be in any kind of sphere that would even be listening to us are polite. And you're like, I don't want to just, aggravate people for no reason
yet to where you automatically, like in a store or something, you go, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And then when you walk out and you immediately are like, I don't know if that was a boy or a girl. And I probably just insulted them and I didn't mean to because I was trying to be polite.
Oh, actually I had the opposite position. It was a while back. I was at some checkout and there was some, cashier and I was like, thank you, ma'am. And then walked out, and then a few minutes later, I was like, "Wait, that chick was trying to dress like a dude." And I'm not asking anybody's pronouns. I'm just gonna run with what's obvious. So, I probably have offended people, and I'm not trying to offend people, but we
no, you're making an observation. That's all you're doing when you say that. You're making an observation.
We cannot let them change what words mean. We can't let them do that. That's all.
If someone dresses in all black lipstick, black eyeshadow, black fingernail polish, you make the assumption that they are goth or they're emo, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And what if they're not? But that's the perception that they give off. Same thing. If I dress as a woman, shave my beard and everything, and throw on a wig, just because. I mean, women can be bald too, but yeah, I'm giving off the perception that I want you to call me. Exactly. Hello. But you're just answering to the perception that you see, right? I mean that's all you're doing.
All right.
You can be wrong. People shouldn't be offended if you're wrong.
All right. So I was just gonna say, let's see about this actor. Let's see. We've skipped past this, but anyway, J.K. Rowling says she's not happy with Daniel Radcliffe.
There are individuals that are in Europe. There's a detransitioning movement going on, and a lot of people are jumping into this, and they're very. I think the word is traumatized.
It's not just detransitioning. Medical
reverse
bodies in these other countries, the licensing bodies, the hospitals and things like this, they have like Denmark, I think, completely said, no, this trans stuff is not good. It's not safe. It doesn't improve anything, and it doesn't reduce the risk of suicide, self-harm, and there are long-term health effects for some of these things. And they've outlawed. They've actually made it illegal to do this trans affirming surgery. And then here in the United States, we have we have little pockets of places that are like really advocating for it, for gender affirming care. Hell, our Surgeon General, is a guy that thinks he's a girl, So and anytime anybody says anything about it, he's really pushes back against it, as though this gender affirming care helps people.
Early brainwashing.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about something else. Deke, you got some interesting stories in here, but let's talk about the internet.
Let's talk about the internet. That's funny. You read my mind. I just wanted to bring this up so people know, because you may not know it, but starting today, that your internet service provider must display labels with price, speeds, and data cap for a new FCC rule. So you'll have a little. I doubt it looks like that. I don't know. Hell, it might look like that.
I mean,
bites.
Somebody was like, we can put this on the side of a cereal box. They don't read that either. It'll be fine. Just make it look exactly like make it look exactly like nutritional information, and the customers will never know.
Let me tell you what will make you read nutritional information on the sides of boxes and cans and stuff, in the sides of food. Let me tell you the number one thing that'll make you do that.
Free money.
Get diabetes.
Oh yeah.
I did not pay
I actually
attention
was
to
going to
that
say
crap
that, but I didn't.
until I got diabetes, and then I have to start looking at every single thing I picked up in the grocery store.
Yeah.
And good God, everything has sugar in it. Even the shit that says no sugar, it has sugar in it.
It doesn't have sugar. It has high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, there's like 6 names for fake sugar that they use.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to give you that one today. Speaking of eating, JJ and Dave,
yes,
do
sir.
you guys like seafood?
Yeah, sure.
Nobody else in my family does. Yeah.
I don't like tilapia too much, but I love salmon.
Yeah.
Y'all both love salmon.
Salmon's good.
So glad that y'all said
I'm sure you are.
Salmon's good stuff.
Glad. I have a story for you. All right. Expired cans of salmon from decades ago have revealed a big surprise. Don't look at that picture. That's just a bone. All right. No, it's just
those
a
are
bone.
good. They taste fine.
Okay. All right.
So
I mean, you had a circle drawn around it, so I was really curious.
Let's talk about the Alaskan marine ecology. Okay. The ecosystem.
Please.
All right.
Let's do that.
So
fascinating.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me get down to where it says the life cycle of this aniskid worm. Okay. The life cycle of this aniskid worm. Aniskids enter the food web when they are eaten by krill, which in turn are eaten by a larger species.
Okay.
This is how they end up in salmon. And eventually the intestines of marine mammals, where the worms complete their life cycle by reproducing. Their eggs are just excreted into the ocean by the mammal, and the life cycle begins again. So
are you going to tell me about extreme double gonorrhea again?
Maybe.
Okay.
So there's these parasite ecologists that were studying at the University of Washington, these parasites, the effects of parasites on marine animals. And they got this call from Seattle's Seafood Products Association. And they said, yo, we've got these boxes of cans of salmon from 1970 from product inspections. And we were wondering maybe if you wanted them before we throw them out. They're from the 70s. And these people were like, yes, we want them. So they started studying them and whatnot. And they found these worms, but were everywhere in these fish, in salmon. The idea of worms in your canned fish is a bit stomach churning, but these roughly 1 centimeter long parasites are harmless to humans when killed during the canning process. So when you eat your salmon.
Okay. Oh, well, it's fine, but they're killed in the canning process.
Maybe they are.
Well, I don't eat a lot of canned salmon though. When I eat salmon, it's It's from
Then
the
you've got
center.
worms coming out of your butt,
So-
dude.
Oh boy, that's not good.
It's an interesting little
Oh
read there.
man.
One
Exciting.
more here from the Deacons upsetting me file. Yesterday, you almost died and didn't even know it. How do you think? What do you like that? Right
Oh
there.
yeah.
I'm waiting for the story to pop up. Pop up story. Good God. It's not on the
Here,
yet. There it
I
is.
turned it back on. I don't know. It
A
is now.
asteroid gave Earth a super close shave with a flyby closer than some satellites yesterday. But as the title says right here in the subheadline, don't worry, this is just a harmless space rock. Space rocks have never caused any damage to the Earth at all, so you don't have to ever worry about that happening. But an asteroid discovered on April the 9th, Tuesday, made extremely close but harmless pass by the planet yesterday. An asteroid roughly the size of a car, grazed by the Earth at a mere 12,000 miles. That's just 3% distance between the Earth and the moon. So what concerned
I
me
mean,
about
it's a
this
slow
was
news
that
week
they
whenever
only
they're
saw-
like rocks in space.
What concerned me about this was that they only saw an asteroid roughly the size of a car hurtling close to the Earth, close, and they only saw that Tuesday. We got a freaking telescope taking pictures of God's butt 23 million trillion light
It's
years
facing
away.
the other way. It's facing the other way.
You can't see a freaking car rock coming towards the Earth that might freaking destroy a continent. Come on.
A car-sized rock could probably pretty much burn up.
Well, there's going to be some damage.
Earth.
It's not going to completely burn up.
Yeah,
All right.
depends on the car. Are we talking
I
like
only
a
have one more story here,
Volkswagen
JJ. I
Beetle?
hope you have other stuff.
Did I have
We got.
something?
I don't know.
I can tell you the story. We could go back to parasites for a
Gross.
second. I heard this story on NPR years and years ago. There was this guy who had a condition. I think it was alopecia areata or whatever, but it's basically
Alopecia
like
areata.
areata. Oh, okay, all right.
I have alopecia areata.
Oh, really? Can you tell me about it? What is it?
So alopecia is when you lose your hair and you can't grow hair. And that's the big Halle Berry crap and whatnot. Alopecia areata is when it happens like spontaneously. All right. So I did not realize I had this. Everybody's got this gene. It's dormant in a lot of people. Some things can make it become active. And high stress is one that makes it become active. And in my early 20s, I was in a job. I was the manager of this radio station in front of all these people, and I was getting my ass bitched out every day. And I was under a high stress job. And you see, I mean,
yeah,
you see my 5 o'clock shadow?
Yeah.
I'm very hairy. I'm half Sasquatch, half Wookiee. So I noticed over here that there was a circle that just wouldn't grow hair, just completely bald, would not grow hair. And then it spread, and then it came over here, and then it was back here, and it was all over my head in these big oblongy circle little things, patches that it looked like I had the mange. My buddies would joke, Rudd's got the mange, ha 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 ha. I went to the dermatologist and I had alopecia areata, and it was caused by high stress is what they thought it was. There was nothing I could do about it.
Oh, wow.
Calm myself down, and get out of that.
That might not
I don't
be true,
remember
Deke.
taking any kind of anything for it. I just remember I was in college and I was very self-conscious.
Okay.
I shaved my head all the way up until I just had a little high-top patch up here, like JJ's, except it was much shorter and completely bleach white. My hair was completely bleach white. I had these circle glasses that I wore. I was a very weird kid, very weird person still today. So
You're Kang right now. Kang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Kind of, yeah.
Because he had that little
white. But I was the weird. Yeah, I looked weird, and it affected me. That all those circles. I know people looked at me and was like, "What the crap's going on with this freaking spot over here?"
All
So
right.
that's alopecia areata. That's what that is.
Okay. Okay. So now this is an article from 2016 that I'm looking at here. Let me pull this up. Well, it's mostly text, so it will be fascinating. But there was this guy, Velasquez, Moises Velasquez Menoff, and he's like, he was working on a book about immunology a number of years ago, and if you see him, you'll see he's completely bald, and he was working on this book about autoimmune diseases, and he talked to a bunch of people who were using an unlikely tool to treat their disease, and in particular, alopecia areata, right? And the tool they were using to treat it was to get parasitic worms to live in their gut permanently. And so he thought, oh, I wonder if that's I wonder if the alopecia and maybe hay fever, because if you have hay fever. So he went down to Mexico and he bought 30 hookworms, and he let the larvae infect him. They are microscopic, but they have these little spikes that puncture the skin and allow the larva to kind of burrow into you. They ride through your bloodstream, back to your heart. They go into your lungs, and then they crawl out of the lungs through your stomach and into your intestines, and then they bite your intestinal wall and they start sucking blood. But they do something else. They start suppressing your immune system. So the worms don't shut it down just enough so that the immune system doesn't attack the worms. And for some people, your immune system is what's attacking you. So some people get parasitic worms on purpose, and then the parasitic worms suppress your immune system just enough that things like your allergies it cures your allergy.
Why not?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Now we need scientists to work on why those worms do that and what causes that immune suppression. And then they will take that and artificially create it and sell it to your ass for $5,000 a pill.
Yes. That's right. I mean,
or you can just,
hold on,
go walk through some poop barefoot and enjoy it.
I might be able to. Let me make a note to start up an LLC. LLC poop worm business. Poop worms. Got it.
Poop hookers. We'll call them poop hookers.
All right.
So when I see an article come up, and when I'm looking through my science stuff and I see an article come up that says the Japanese have created something, I automatically click on it because it's probably going to be freaking fascinating.
A transformer. You're constantly hoping for, an actual transformer that looks cool.
Yes. So Japan has levitated without the use of two magnets. They have developed this material here.
Hoverboards are coming, baby.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too. They have developed this. See, it looks like, let me go down here and show you the video.
What's going on? Because that's very obviously 4 magnets that are stuck together underneath it. So, yeah. Okay.
So basically, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever.
No, I mean, what's going on here?
No, I mean, people.
It's not flipping over.
See that levitation of that it's levitating that piece of metal there?
Yeah.
And that you would think, okay, I've seen magnets do that. We can do that with magnets. We have monorails that do that. That's not a magnet.
Okay.
That piece of metal there is not a magnet.
Okay. What's going on? What is it?
Hang on. Let me get what the crap's going on here. Okay. So a research team in theoretical physics in Japan's Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology has successfully demonstrated levitation without using any external energy source. The team developed a new material to achieve this feat, which has opened doors to gravity-free technology in the future. Objects made from superconductors or diamagnetic materials, those that can be repelled by a magnetic field, can float above magnets. This principle is also used in magnetic levitation, where superconducting magnets create strong magnetic field and they levitate, allowing objects to travel at high speeds, such as trains. That's how we do that. I learned about that in 9th grade. This technology, this device that they have created was aimed for a frictionless platform. However, the system would lose energy over time without an external power source. So basically, they use levitating materials to build these oscillators, which can be used to develop sensors, ultra-sensitive sensors. And these oscillators work without using an external energy source, and that makes them easier to deploy. So they have a couple of problems, though. kinetic energy being one of them. The kinetic energy motion, they need to figure out how to stop the kinetic energy or control the kinetic energy. And there was another problem that they had. I think the coding of it allowed for some loss over time or whatnot. But this was a very interesting because this technology, there's a million things that I can think of, for this technology. The first thing I thought of was I was like, oh, you can finally have your little floating robot that follows you around.
A
Yes.
hoverboard.
Yes, that would be
Hoverboard.
really useful. We've already seen robots that can walk around like people, and we got a company that's putting AI in robots soon. We've seen Chinese robots with guns on them. We should definitely make it easier for them to get upstairs.
Oh, don't forget all the sex robots too. They're there too.
And
Thanks
I
for
mean,
pointing that out, Dave.
I'm
We
glad.
appreciate it. That's why you're here.
Why is that on your mind, Dave?
We're going through all the robots that are there. You left that one off.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe it needs
Okay.
to be. Maybe we don't need to be yin and yang. JJ needs to be yin, and you need to be yang.
Ew.
Oh, that was a bad joke. I was stretching for that.
It
one.
was.
Ew.
I was stretching.
All right. Do you get any music for us?
Music.
Yeah, no, go
I
ahead,
got
Dave.
news.
'cause I
Oh,
need
you
to
got a
use it.
story, Dave? You
Yeah,
got a
I
story?
did
Bring
have
it
a
up.
story. I did have a story.
What do you got?
Pull it up. All right,
We're
I
in
didn't want
for
to
a
click on
treat.
buttons. Yes, you are. End of America type stuff here right now.
Sweet.
Why did it go to the waiting room? I
Oh,
shared
that's
it. It went to
because
the waiting room.
you're not allowed to flip buttons.
Yeah, well, there you go. Rich Americans who want a backup plan are getting second passports. A backup plan for what, you might ask? That's a
Yes.
good question.
Climate change? Is it climate change?
The mega rich in America are worried about social and political instability.
Oh,
They want a parachute to get out of here if civil war breaks out.
That's
So they
exactly
begin
right. That movie
acquiring
opens today.
secondary.
Did that
So
movie
they're
start today?
choosing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're choosing
Yeah.
nations like Portugal, Malta, Greece, Italy, and New Zealand. Now, I've got a buddy who lives in Greece, a former Marvel
That is
Contest of Champions friend.
yeah.
My brother-in-law's family is all from Greece, and they're like, man, we can go over there and I can feed 20 people for $14. It's amazing. You should come. You should move here. I'm like,
Yeah, but like their economy collapsed less than 10 years ago, and they were under like incredible debt. But don't worry, we're now under like we make their debt look absolutely silly.
You have just a bunch of rich Americans move over there and they just own the
Right.
place then.
Yeah.
So, but
There's no way that
the purpose of an exit plan, I think, is a little bit concerning.
All the super billionaires, all the rich people building bunkers and whatnot wasn't concerning.
That's fascinating to me. I mean,
rich
they're at
people
least still
building
here.
bunkers, rich people flying out of the United States.
That's where it starts to get scary.
All right,
It
look.
is.
All right, hold on.
This is very
Hypothetical.
concerning. Me and
Hold
Ashley
on.
talked about the weapons the other night in the house. I was like, "Do you know where all the weapons are? Do you know everything?" I even told Alex, I was like, "Dude, look, this. Your baseball bat's right here. Your samurai sword that's a decoration on your wall is right here. You know."
Look,
I did that.
Okay,
I did
let's
that.
let's talk about rich people in bunkers. I'm not rich. You guys are not rich. I don't have a bunker. You don't have a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to it, and and there is a civil war, I mean, you're not going to be on the rich guy's team. So
no, but the rich guy's going to have people paid on his team.
Sure,
the rich guy is going to need individuals that know how to make things happen because
But
some of those rich guys don't know
all
how
of
to make
those
things happen.
all of those bunker guys are going to be living in the bunker though. So I mean,
If
like
you
this
can't
is
walk out to your yard right now and pick
Yeah.
a plant that's going to heal, or pick something that's going to eat, you're probably in trouble. Because if you get any kind of infection or bite or cut right now, I can walk 12 feet out there, pick a leaf, chew it, put it on there, put a piece of bandage on it, and you'll be fine. Because I know what I'm looking for. But a lot of people don't.
You can eat dandelions right now, by the way.
Yeah.
They're coming up all over the place. Enjoy.
You know the little,
are those the little ones? Are the dandelions the ones where you blow them and they?
Well, you want to eat them when they're yellow.
You want to eat them when they're white,
the
JJ.
leaves.
When they've gotten white and before you blow them, if you'll eat them, it tastes I mean, you've never tasted anything like that in your life.
Let me
Seriously,
tell
have
you,
never
I
done
picked
that?
one of those when I was a kid, and I sucked on the stem just out of curiosity.
No, the
and then
white part,
it
a lot of
was the
people
worst
pick
thing
the
I ever
white and
tasted.
go and try to blow
Yeah,
them
yeah,
off.
yeah.
No, go out today, and when you see one, grab it and eat it. They taste unbelievable. Try it and then
Really?
report back
Yeah.
to me and tell me what you
I've
think.
had
I used to
dandelion
eat
jelly. Oh my
clover
word,
out
that's
of my yard.
amazing.
Dandelion
Oh,
jelly.
yeah, dandelion. I
I
didn't know
do
it was
have
a thing
a.
until a couple months ago.
I have started a garden, and my tomato plants and my cucumber plants are they're about 12 inches tall now, so they're
There's
cooking up.
sweet grass that grows all around the yard. Mom told us as kids when we would sit in the yard and stuff and pick clover and stuff. There's sweet grass clover that you can see, and it's everywhere. And you get it, and it's there. I have little wild strawberries that grow everywhere. There are a
Yeah.
lot of edible stuff in your yard that you walk over every day.
I'm just okay.
I'm
And then you
sorry.
got to learn how to melt down your own lead sabots or your own lead balls for shooting your black powder rifle.
My cousin does that,
you
so I'm
here.
good.
I got you here.
Yeah, my cousin. does
I'm
that.
in a serious situation because I do not have
JJ,
enough,
come to
I
Kentucky.
need to come to Kentucky,
I don't
JJ.
Come to
have
Kentucky.
means to produce my own
Something
ammunition.
happens, head east, a little northeast. and
Northeast.
we got you.
I'm hoping that we can just get a saw and just cut out Texas out of the rest of this thing, and we'll be all right.
Why don't you go to
internally.
Lowe's and tell me how that goes?
Yeah.
I got you a song
Just build a
today. This is JJ's song of the day today.
Oh, our
Uh-huh.
It's our
background
last song for Empire Records Week. Monday was Rex Manning Day. I watched
I love
Empire
this
Records
song.
this week. This is the song at the end of the movie that a very young and still pretty at the time Renee Zellweger sings at the end when she's like, yeah, and that's actually Renee Zellweger singing that part of it because you can.
It's
tell.
great. That song
But
is great.
The guy that I believe the lead singer of the Coyote Shivers was the guy that was Deb's boyfriend in that movie. You know, the lead singer of that band. He's the real lead singer of that real band, the Coyote Shivers. So there you go. There's Sugar High, Empire Records.
If you haven't already watched Empire Records, you absolutely must. It is a required.
Absolutely.
And
I
I don't
will
know why
eventually.
Oh,
screen here.
Dave, that's right, JJ. Dave did not watch Empire Records. We're gonna get struck tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Sugar high.
Let me tell you how fond I am. Like, this is my favorite scene of this movie. Oh, okay. I will stop it before we get copyright struck. It's my favorite scene of that movie, and that movie is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. All right.
Dave, you really need to watch that. You really need to watch
good.
that.
You know what? Hold up. I had an idea yesterday because we were talking about doing
Stream.
Speaking of
watch parties, but you know we obviously can't really do watch parties on YouTube or on even maybe on Rumble because we'll get copyright struck. But
told you how to
what,
do
we
it.
can. I have an idea. So guys, I was thinking about making a members only section of my website. So I registered a website yesterday for my collector app. And I'm thinking I'll just create a little like private section, and then for people out there that end up wanting to subscribe, they can join us on a watch party if they don't want to watch on Discord, which we'll probably do it on Discord. My wife is calling me right now.
I think when you charge money for people
Come
to
on,
watch
wife.
a movie is when they start to get on your ass.
Yeah. You'd have to do it on Discord.
You'd have to
Keep your
do it on
website safe.
Discord. Yeah. I think that's
All
when
right.
they'd start to
All right, guys. Jokes in the show with jokes.
No. JJ,
Yeah.
I watched the first episode and a half of Fallout. I didn't get to finish the second episode. Oh, JJ's got a call. So, have you seen it?
I had that event last night.
That's right.
At church where I had this junk fly in my eye. I didn't get home till close to 9:00. I was just wore out. I didn't watch it.
I only got through about halfway. I started falling asleep, so I turned it off and went to bed. But it is actually really good. It's pretty good so far.
They've got a good cast. Have you started Avatar yet?
The live Avatar?
Yeah,
dude, I've watched it twice.
Okay. So my wife and I've started it.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And I'm enjoying it.
I had
It's
one
not the
complaint.
animated series. It's
No,
not the
it's not.
animated
They had to
series. That's
change
my
the
only complaint.
story. They had to change the story a little bit and
Uh-huh.
rearrange it a little bit, but the way they rearranged it was very, very well done. As a longtime Avatar fan, I was pleased.
Yeah.
There was one part that I did not like, and it was a minor change with a minor little thing, and it was minor. So other
Okay.
than that, I think that it was a very good interpretation of the book one, Book of Water. I thought it was really good the way that they had to change part of the story and leave out certain other things of the story because
Mhm.
they left out a couple of things that me and Alex was like, they didn't mention blah blah blah, and he's like, yeah. And so we analyzed it. We're like, they probably didn't do it because it's really a minor thing of the overall story. But I highly
I
recommend that anybody that likes the live action go back and watch. And if you don't want to spoil it, if you haven't seen it, don't watch book 2. Book 2 is season 2. Book 3
Yeah.
is season 3, the final season. So book 1 is season 1. That's everything, all the live. Just go back and watch the cartoon of the
Mhm.
Book of Water, and you'll see a lot of stuff in there, and you'll see how it's changed. Like Katara got the water bending scroll from her grandmother. Well, she
Right.
doesn't do that in the cartoon. They steal it
No,
from a
she
pirate
steals it.
ship. But it makes
Right.
more sense to get it from her grandmother and whatnot. It made a lot more sense in the
Grand.
cartoon. So I really appreciate that.
All
JJ,
right, I'm catching up.
I thought we were talking about Avatar. I thought
Yeah.
the Fallout, I'm an episode and a half in, thought it's really, really freaking fantastic so far.
It's
Fantastic.
incredible.
Yeah, it really
the
is.
fidelity of this TV show as adapting not only the style of the games, but like the visual aesthetic and the feel of it.
The freaking music with the video
Oh, it's
music
great.
and the video games were great, but the music and how they make the music as she's wandering through and see it's very, if you've played the video game, you'll notice a lot of little things from the video game in this freaking, like
I mean,
even
and
the rusted robot that was sticking out of the freaking ground, it's
yeah.
a
Oh
lot
my
of video
gosh.
game references.
The
in
power
this.
armor racks. If you played Fallout, I think Fallout 4, and you get to run around in power armor, and there's power armor racks that they have those that it looks great.
Yeah,
and
the power armor looks great.
It's pretty great. The characters are fascinating characters.
Yeah, honestly, they are so far.
The plot, the overall plot story of so you're an episode and a half in, so she's looking for her dad who got abducted, but she doesn't know where she's looking. She has no clues, but somehow she's going in some direction and making progress. So that kind of part of it is just kind of that's just kind of hand waved. Is how does she know she's going in the right direction? But the I'm gonna say the drawing of the characters, the female character, she's great. She's great. Innocent, or naive. I'm gonna say naive, but
yeah, she's that naivety
extremely capable. She's extremely capable.
Yeah.
The ghoul. I mean, come on, it's Walter Goggins, but the ghoul's character is just the best. And then you have this Brotherhood of Steel guy, Maximus, and I mean, it's such a super interesting. Nobody here is a good guy. There are no good guys. Even the best of the good guys are they're not good guys.
Right. If you don't know the story and you don't know anything about Fallout, it's great. I was watching this last night and I was like, man, JJ and Dave and I have been wanting to play a post-apocalyptic D&D game for a long time. Well, why don't we just scrap that and just play it in this freaking Fallout world,
RPG?
Just like this, except this crap's going on here and our story's going on the other side of the world.
Maybe. I don't know.
Completely different.
It's so good.
I know, it's really good. So there you go. Right. I wanted to mention that because you said that yesterday. To everyone that's watching, we appreciate you watching. Go to our Discord.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right next to JJ's head. You can find my playlist. It's years long. We like to talk memes, and if you don't agree with us, we love you even more because we're not hateful assholes.
Yeah.
We love conversation with people that have different opinions, and we won't just dismiss you and make fun of you like a lot of other people. We're sane adults.
Deke, you had to leave. Was it yesterday early, maybe Wednesday? And I showed Dave, but I think it was Wednesday. We had some comments on YouTube. I thought maybe I would run these by you.
I saw those. No, you don't have to. I want to laugh with the jokes.
I just wanted to shout out the people that left comments for us.
That's fine. Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Okay. So Now, this one was from them watching a show that that we did super long ago. User dash DL1ZN3RH3G on YouTube.
Not a bot.
And it kind of makes me think that this is a dipshit that just rolled this account up so that he could leave comments. I don't know. He says, the irony of being against civil rights while simultaneously being fans of Marvel is hilarious. So
I don't ever remember being against civil rights, but that's cool.
I mean, are we even actually fans of Marvel? If
Not
you're
really, not anymore. When I was young and stupid, I was, and I just kind of hang on, by a thread because I still like Cable a lot, and I think there's some really cool stories.
Yeah, the Marvel that I love is from 25 years ago or more.
And that was telling the same story. That we could talk. This is a whole 45-minute episode right here. So thank you for your comments.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Joke time.
I don't hate on him, and I didn't respond. I didn't respond at all, and I didn't respond in hateful.
I pointed out because sometimes Deacon goes on there and just berates our YouTube commenters.
Sometimes people need berating.
All right.
So let's do our dad jokes. JJ has his 1967 dad joke ready for you. Are you going to go first?
Ready? Here we go. What do you get when you cross a tiger with a snowman?
I don't know. What do you get when you cross a tiger?
Bull paws? I don't know.
Frostbite.
Frostbite.
Yeah, I know. That one's good. Frostbite.
Deke, you're a concert guy, right?
Yeah, I love concerts. I've been to many.
I do too. I went to a concert the other night. You know how much it cost?
How much?
45 cents.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was a 50-cent concert, and it featured Nickelback.
Before I tell my joke, I had a buddy, Jowie, our viewer, Jowie, Jowie played me a song on his phone the other day, and he was like, "Listen to this," and I was like, "Yeah, this is awesome." He was like, "Yeah, it's hard to nod your head. It's hard to not nod your head." I was like, "Yeah, no, I kind of want to nod my head." And then the singer started, and I'm like, I recognize this voice, man. This song just sounds pretty good. And he was like, yeah. I was like, who is that? And he's like, just keep listening. And the song got to its chorus, and I was like, I recognize this freaking voice. Who is this? And he said, Nickelback. He said, this is their brand new song. I'm like, really? Holy crap. I want to listen to this. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'll listen to it.
All right.
Yeah, it comes from. All right, guys, I once saw, you know what a baguette is? You know a baguette.
Oh, yeah, baguette.
I once saw a baguette in a cage. Yeah, it was bred in captivity.
Thank
you.
All right, that's it for today. We'll be back Monday, and we will not have any problems next week. Everything is going to go just right.
It will.
Because
talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teats. Tune in now to your Tune That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh,
Rexy, you're so sexy.